Hello everyone again and welcome to another episode of our tutorial series, the Intermediate Guide. I think this is episode number 4 and let's get started. In this episode we are going to see a new tool that we didn't see in the last episode. If you remember and if you watched the last episode, we learned how to use those blending options we talked about here, right? Those are not blending but they are layer adjustment layers. And we learned how to use this mask here, how to mask our anything. Basically we will learn the mask tool later more and more. We will see more advanced stuff about the mask tool. It's really amazing, guys. In this episode I want to show you the last one here. It's this function here, it's the fx. Yes, it's a function like in mathematics, but it's not this hard to learn. If you click this fx here, you will see those options here. We have this blending option. It's not like the blending option we have for layers. You remember when we learned about layers, every layer have those blending option here, right? But those blending options, they are another stuff, and they are usually used in text or making improvements, or how can I say it, if you want a glowing effect or something like this, you will be using those blending option. Without talking about them like this, we will go ahead and show examples on how we can use them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I will select my top layer here, this one here. I will create a new layer. I'm just creating a new layer here, and I will switch back to my text tool. It's T on my keyboard, and I will just write here Cheerfuldev like this, and I will accept this like this. I will move it let's say in the middle here. It's not exactly, but I'm just moving it around here. And we already know how to use the text tool, right? If I click on this A here, it's for the character. If you don't see this, you click on window and you choose character here. When you click it, it will show up here. And I want to change, let's use this. I changed the text just to this one here. I will change the color for my text too. I want to pick, let's say, this dark color here, and we are going to get started. Before that, I may zoom in a little bit so we can see what we are going to do. This is zooming out a lot. Let's keep it like this, okay? Focus with me with this Cheerfuldev here on top. I'm selecting my text layer here, and I'm not changing the text layer. You will understand this later. For now, it's just a text. We can double click it and change the text however we want, right? So for now I'll keep it as it is, and I will click on this fx here, this blending option, and I will not click any of those, but I will click directly this blending option. It will show up this window here. It says layer styles, and those are the layer styles. If you look closely, we have here this Bevel and Emboss, stroke, inner shadow, inner glow, satin, color overlay, gradient overlay, pattern, etc. And if I cancel this and click on this fx again, you will see they are here the same. We have this Bevel and Emboss, the stroke, the inner shadow, the inner glow, etc. All the options we have in this blending option, they all exist in the same here. So when you will learn all of those stuff, you will not need to like click the blending option, open all of this and go and select anything you want. You can basically just click the name of the layer style that you want and click it directly, and it will show up again. This window will show up, but it will be selecting the layer style that you want. For now, we are going to learn how to use this step by step. So let's say I want to add a stroke to this Cheerfuldev, and a stroke, it's basically this one here. As you can see it, we have this stroke. If I click it, I will check it automatically, and it will automatically add a stroke to my text here. And we have some options here. We have those structure where we have the size of the stroke. If I bump this, as you can see, the stroke size is changing. And we have the position here. It's from the inside. It means we are going to create a stroke using the inside of my text. That's why when I make this size bigger, it's getting bigger inside the text. That's why it's black now. But if we choose this from inside to outside, as you can see, the text feeling changed dramatically in one switch. Inside it looks like this, and outside it looks like this right now. And if we take this size bigger, now this size is affecting from the outside and not the inside of our text. And if we switch it in the center, of course it's in the center, we will have half in the outside and half in the inside, just like this. For now I will switch back to outside, and I will give this, let's say, 5. It's cool. Now we have, of course, here blend mode. As I said before, every layer have its own blending option, right? When we switch between overlay, multiply, etc. These apply to this stroke also. We can click on this normal here and switch to dissolve, color burn, etc. Anything that you want, and it will switch how this stroke affects our picture. I will switch back to normal. You can play with this again, and this is the opacity, of course. If I drop it, as you can see, the opacity of our stroke is changing. I'll switch it back to 100%. This is overprint, it's just for printing. And we have the type of the color here. Of course, you can click and change the color to anything that you like. Let's say I will pick this yellow here and I will make it like this. Anything basically that you want, you can switch it to anything. And if you don't want to use a color, you can switch to a gradient, and of course we will have a gradient like this. And click the gradient again and pick any gradient that you want. Of course you can change the colors too. We learned before how to use them, right? And we can change the style. Let's make it radiant or angle or anything that you want. You can move this however you want. You can switch this angle here. You can make it scale like just like this, and if you click like this, it will start moving like this. This is really cool, guys, here. And this is basically how you can use those stuff here. And of course we have the reverse. It will reverse the colors between them. As you can see, it reverses the colors. We can have the align with layer. If you uncheck it, it will not align with our layer. But for now I will keep it like this. I will not explain these points here. We will explain them later, guys. For now I will leave it as it is. And we have here styles. I'll keep it like this, and as you can see, this is a sharp burst and it looks like this here. It's really cool. And so let's try to do this step by step, okay? For now, why did I jump from this Bevel and Emboss directly to this stroke? Because basically we all use stroke a lot in Photoshop, and the Bevel and Emboss will be like the last tip you are going to use in your creation. Let me show you right now. If you check this Bevel and Emboss, for now it did nothing, right? But there is some effect. Let me uncheck it. As you can see, there is an effect, but it's not really that's showing up because of my settings here. Let me make this to default, and this is the default for me. So I will switch this style. As you can see, we have a lot of option. For every layer style that you pick, there is options for this type. I will deselect this and I will switch back to my Bevel and Emboss here. and we'll talk about this structure. This is the structure of our bevel and emboss. You can switch between the inner bevel to an outer bevel like this, and from this to this it will switch like this, from smooth to crisp or like this. As you can see, it switched and gave us this tape here. You can even make it soft, it will be soft like this, or sharp. As you can see, it will be sharp, or smooth and it will be smooth like this. I will make it to smooth. I will keep it like this, and this is the depth, or how much. As you can see, we have a depth here, right? It's changing little by little as we move our cursor here. This is really amazing. And here we have this size. If we make this size smaller, let me show you here. As you can see, we have these changements here. You can notice them. We have this changing, right? If I make this size bigger and if I make it smaller, we have this feeling to our text right now. It changed automatically how your text feel. If I uncheck this, you can see we have this flat, and now, and as you can see, it changed automatically the feeling of our design here. If I uncheck this, it will be just flat like this, and if I shake it, it will be like this. I just dragged the document. Let me get it back here. Okay, and this is the soften, and it means, of course, we have to soften those. And if I make this, bump it, as you can see, it's soft right now, right? And if I make it not soft, it will show up those edges here. This is basically how you use this structure here. And if we switch from an inner bevel to an outer bevel, you will see we have this on the top of our text here. It changed the feeling and how your text will show up automatically and quickly. So I'm going to go to this emboss now, because the inner bevel, sorry, and the inner bevel, they are the same. This is an inner bevel and the other is an outer bevel. You can say it's an outside bevel and the other one is an inside bevel. I will go to explain now this emboss, and as you can see, we have this feeling here. Look closely, we have this one here, and the emboss, as you can see, it's like in the middle between them. It gives us this feeling like this. We can switch the depth, as you can see. You can make it like this, you can make it upside down or up, whatever you want. Let me switch it to down like this. We can switch the size, of course, as you can see. If we make the size bigger, it's bigger, and if we make it smaller, it's smaller like this. We can make it soft, as you can see, I'm making it soft, and as you can see, it changed the feeling of our text dramatically, guys. It's up to you how you want your text to feel on your project. It's up to the type of project you will have, and the, let's say, this season, etc., and stuff like this. We will talk about those stuff later, guys, not for now. Now I want to go to the bottom one here. I will not explain all of them. You can of course practice and test all of those stuff, and you will see they are really amazing. This is a pillow emboss, this is a strip emboss, etc., stuff like this. I will go back to emboss, and here we have the shading. If you notice, we have the same shading for all of them, right? Now, how does shading affect our text? This is the angle of this stuff here. Let me show you. If I move this angle, let's say like this, as you can see, it switched where the shading is coming. And if you make it like this, it will go back like this. And when I drag this one here, it changed this angle in this one here, right? This is really cool, guys. And here we have this gross contour, and this one here, they are some function who will determine how your emboss and your bevel and emboss will affect your text using some function. Those are mathematical function, of course. I won't explain them for your sake and mine. So let me just go quickly here and show you. If I click this one here, as you can see, it give us this feeling here. If you choose this one, it says whatever its name, it's this one here, I don't know the names. It gives you this feeling here. As you can see, we have this here, and if we switch back to this one give me this one should give you this style here, this one give you this here, one here, etc. You can have all of those, and of course you can create your own if you want. For now I will keep, let's say this one here. This looks good. And here we have the highlight mode. Of course we know the highlight mode, the shadow mode, they are blending option for those layers. Here we have two options. We have this yellow one. If I switch it, as you can see, we have this red line on our text. You will notice them if I move this. You can see them here. As you can see, we have them here, and we can switch back to normal, and you will see those colors clearly, right? So I will make them to overlay, and you will see them like this. And if we go to multiply, they will have these multiply colors like this. So I will switch back to screen. It will give us this good feeling here. And of course we can make the opacity however you want. I will keep it like this. And this one, it's this dark color. You can't see it for now. If we switch to another color, you may see it or not, I don't know, but it's there. I switch it back to normal. We don't see it because it's out of our design. It's okay, we don't need this anymore anyway. So this is basically how we can use this bevel and emboss, and this is how we use this stroke. And if you can see, we had this basic text here, and after some switching and creating those, we had this different design here. This is really cool, and we will explain more of the stuff in the next episode. So I hope you enjoy what we do. This is not a cool episode because this layer style here is not easy to explain, but we will explain all the stuff in this tutorial intermediate guide. We are going to explain one by one because those tools here really need to be explained and not skip them faster. So see you in the next episode. Hope you subscribe, like, and see you guys. Thank you and love you guys.